Bruce. How are you, Bruce? Oh, God. Hey, Sybil. How are you, Sybil? I'm good as well, Bruce. I'm glad you're good too. I'm good as well, Sybil. Glad you're good. Yeah, rain. It's been rainy. It's not raining right now. Actually, it hasn't been raining. But it's just so damp. So damp and like cloudy today. One of those days. Hey, Kennedy. It was definitely go get a refresher kind of day. Hey, Sally. Hey, Bobby. Hi, Ashley. Hey, Christine. Happy Monday. Hey, Emma. I didn't really do much today. I was in the house I was actually sewing, which was funny because I was still making my TikTok, like my vlog, and I'm like, I jumped on there and I'm like, as I was sewing, I was having a hard time getting the string through the little, the little circle. So I was talking about that a little bit on my vlog today. That I didn't post it yet, but you are on our live. What do you mean, Jack? You're in the live. Hi, Dina. Yeah. Yes. Getting that little teeny... So that's when I need my glasses. I don't wear glasses unless it's like... Sometimes when I'm reading, like, I try to say that I don't need them until I really need them. Last night I tried editing. I sat down and I was going to edit. And everything was blurry. But I was already in bed and I didn't feel like getting up to get my glasses. So I was like, oh, I guess it means I'm not supposed to edit tonight. But that's when it's sometimes that's when I need my glasses. If it's close up, it starts to get blurry. So as I'm trying to get this string in, that's when I need my glasses. And a couple times I got it through without the glasses. And I was like, yeah, I can see still. It's so weird how sometimes I don't need my glasses. Like sometimes I can see up close. I still feel like it's in my head. Because when I think about it, I'm like, oh, I don't have my glasses. Then I'm like, everything gets blurry. But when I'm like not thinking about it and I'm like, I just read all that and I didn't have my glasses. Why is it only sometimes that I need my glasses? Hey, BB. Oh, you're saying let me join I don't have people join on my live. Like, you mean do the live with me? Listen, I'm jumping on this live to say hi to my friends and chat, and I'm not really looking to, like, I know a lot of people ask to join it with me, but I don't even know what the heck will we do. Yeah, so last night I was already in bed and I was like, let's do some editing, right? And I'm sitting there and it's like, it was all blurry. It was so blurry. It was like extra blurry though. I'm like, this is weird. I'm like, I must have something in my eye. You know what's so funny, Christine? You know what's so funny? Like, sometimes I feel like people, when they comment on some of my things, like I don't know if they're being rude or not. I can't always interpret if they're meaning it in a nice way or not. And I heart it. If I'm not sure, I always like it. So people are probably like, I was trying to be mean, but you can't be mean to me because sometimes it literally goes over my head. Not that that was being mean, but things go over my head a lot. So unless it's obviously being rude and it's so clear as day, I'm going to just obviously block or ignore or delete it. But sometimes I'm like, I can't tell if this person's like actually being serious right now or they're messing with me on my video. So for the most part, I usually just heart it. They're probably so confused. Should we accept things in order to be better? It's perfect. It shifts their energy. Yeah, it does. It does. Because they're like, okay, this girl's like not, you know, they're probably like, this girl's clueless. I can make fun of myself. I have no problem making fun of myself. Because, like, it's really not that serious. Are you on here? I'm not, Glenn, I'm not on here 24/7. I jump on, I try to get on every day. I don't know why my voice is being weird. My throat. I try to get on here every single day if I can, but if I can't, I can't. Like yesterday, my brother came over for dinner, my youngest brother, so it was really nice seeing him. So if something just pops up and I don't get on, it's just because I'm you know, something else came up, that's all. But I do try to get on here every day. I like to get on here as much as I can because I enjoy it, right? Like, I like getting on here. How do you handle so Sam, you got to stay calm. You got to stay calm, Sam, because you know more. So if you're in a situation where someone is I don't like to even use the word negative. It's because not everybody understands this information. So it's more so, Sam, coming at it with compassion, staying calm and quiet, understanding that they don't know this information. So now you get to be the example in people's lives by being light about things and by smiling still and by really not letting it bother you. But the best thing to do in those situations is just to get calm and quiet and have compassion for others that may not understand this, right? And what the byproduct of that, Sam, the byproduct of doing the practice of just remaining calm, having compassion for others that may not understand this, is that they can't sustain your energy. So you don't see that in your reality anymore, guys, because it's all about matching energies. So if you're not seeing someone as negative anymore, if they're not that you're not seeing it, if it's not affecting you anymore, let's say it like that. If it's not affecting you anymore, it can't sustain your energy anymore, so you just don't encounter that person anymore. They can't sustain your energy. Do you get what I'm saying? It's all about matching energies, right? So if you're allowing it to affect you, if it's upset, if it's annoying you, if you're complaining in your mind that this person's negative, it's affecting you. So you're going to keep experiencing it. So it's just doing my practice. It's just relaxing, remaining calm, and just telling yourself, you know what? They don't understand this. And we don't know what's really going on in someone's life and in their mind, and we'll never know. So that's why we have to have compassion for others, and we choose to stay calm. We choose to stay kind. We choose to move forward with what feels best. I know that's a whole story, but that's what it's all about. What else do you tell them? No, never tell anyone to relax. Never tell anyone to relax, because automatically you're wanting someone to change. You're wanting someone to change so you can feel better. You need to practice, Sam, feeling better no matter what anyone else is doing outside of you. You have to let people be who they are, and you need to be able to stay in alignment. So it's not about the other person. So telling someone to relax is not only being it's being judgmental. It's you still matching that energy. Even if you're saying it in a nice way, you're still judging them. You're still needing them to change in order for you to feel good. You need to practice feeling good no matter how anything is, no matter what's happening outside of you, person, place, or thing, right? So that's where we do these practices. That's where we practice calmness, relaxing, and just, getting yourself in your own little world. And, like I said, you're going to notice that you're not going to see that as much in your experience. Because you're more aware. Of course I tell you to relax because you're open to this, or are you not? Or are you not? Yes, I tell you to relax, but you are asking for my advice, Sally. You're asking. Okay, let me pin that. Let's pin that. Okay, Sally says, but you tell us to relax. Of course I do, because you're open to this information. You're asking for advice, but this person's not. This person's not asking for Sam's opinion and help and advice. We don't push this on others. We don't push this unless they ask. Okay, Sally, so you guys are interested in this. You want to move forward to what feels best. You want to step out of these things that don't serve you anymore. That's why there's a difference. If you weren't open to this, if I was triggering you, you wouldn't be coming back for more information, right? Does that make sense too? It's all, so yes, doing nothing. Okay. So Bobby says, please explain. I can explain it to you till your ears are bleeding, that doing nothing and relaxing is bringing everything in. But until you start actually applying it and doing it and relaxing, and you're going to see it for yourself. But I'm just telling you through my own experience what has changed my life, right? That's why I can, like I said, I can explain these things to you guys, and I can give you the audios, and you can read my books, and you can even listen to other people talk about ways to do things. But until you apply it and see the changes in your life, it's me, like Abraham says, it's just words, right? It's kind of me, it's just me saying words. But it's actually doing the practices of relaxing, of resting. Honestly, what I've noticed in my life is really just being in those states of appreciation. See, I learn as I go as well. The more that I do less, the more that I relax more, because this is another reason. There's lots of ways I can explain it. Think about it like this, Bobby. If you were living your best life, right, and you're doing everything that you want to do, and you're in the best relationship of your life, you're doing what you love to do every day, because this is what I've watched happen in my life and unfold in my life, the less I did. There's no effort involved. It's effortless. You're literally doing what you want to do when you want to do it. There's no like, I have to do it like a job. When you're living your best life, when you're in the relationship of your dreams, when you have an amazing relationship with money, when you have an amazing relationship with your job. Well, I say job, but it's not a job when you love to do it. It doesn't feel like you're doing anything. It goes back to, we hear like when you're doing what you love, you're not working. That's why. So the more that you're relaxing, the more that you're resting, you're just allowing what's best for you. Because remember this as well. You planned all this before you got here, Bobby and guys. You planned all this. This is already a pre-planned destiny. Everything already exists here and now. Every timeline exists. It's already happening. You're just aligning with it. That's all. No, I like the questions too. I like the questions. No, they're good. They're good questions for people that are like still confused and still like not trusting the process. You're not going to trust the process until you do the processes, right? You just become more light about life because you're lining up with things that are in alignment with you. Like I always say, like going back to action. I don't like the word action because action is this experience. This human experience is action-based, but most of it is action. It's of things that you don't want to do. Like, I have to get up and I have to make dinner today. I have to go to work today. I have to go, do this or do this or do that. It's things that we've been taught due to our programming, right? But the more that you relax, okay, here we go. The more that you do my practices, I say my practices because you're not doing anything. It's the easiest way to go about this. It sounds too good to be true, but it is too good to be true because your best life right now feels too good to be true. But trust me, you're only relaxing, you're only resting, you're doing nothing. And the action is aligned action. But you don't realize you're doing aligned action. Aligned action is like, I was at home and I was sitting on my couch and I was sewing, I was just getting done. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of feel like doing a live. It's like a gloomy day. I'm going to go get my refresher. And I got so excited. I was like, I'm going to make a couple videos and I'm going to go out and I'm going to go do a live right now. Of course. And that's why, guys, and Patricia says, I love hearing it again. That's why I post these on YouTube as well. So you can hear these messages whenever you want. And that's why I make the audios. I listen to my audios. I have the new audio. I'm up to the one. Okay. So the 5-hour audio, guys, that if you have that, you guys know you're getting the free audio. It's 1 hour, but I'm also going to sell that separately too. But if you have the 5 hours, you're getting this automatic out. It's going to automatically upload. So you don't worry about it. I'm almost up to an hour. I'm 5 minutes from an hour. There's a few more things I want to add, but it's good. It's good. Like, that's why I take a lot of my old audios down, because I get more clear as time goes by. The more that I do these practices, the more that I'm aligning with my best life and all the things that I planned before I got here, I get more clarity and I get better at explaining this. My life gets better. I'm happier. I'm living in the joy. The joy is in the journey. All that's happening for me, the magic, the stuff that Abraham always talks about, right? But it's bringing me clarity, because to me, that's a manifestation. When I'm learning how easy this truly is. So that's why I take my old, some of you already have them, my audios. They're all great because they're all very similar. And it's the same message, but I get more clear at explaining it, right? I'm starting to understand that we planned all this before we got here. I wrote a book on this a long time ago about your destiny. I always felt it at my core, but it's being proven to me how we've planned all this. That's why you have a strong desire for certain things. You ever have that strong desire that you feel like it's so far away from you? It's because you planned it before you got here. But you really got to let go of the wanting of it. You got it. And that's where you apply these practices. And you will. You start to become whole on your own. You start to become fulfilled on your own. You start to become happy on your own. And then these manifestations start to now, I won't say they start to come into your awareness more clear. They come into your awareness. So that's why you're not doing anything. You're literally not doing anything. Everything is going to start to come into your awareness when you relax, when you do less, when you're in those states of appreciation. And I say the state of appreciation, which I'm really learning what that is. I knew what it was, but I'm one of those people that I got to experience it for myself. Like when people used to say practice gratitude, you can't tell me to practice gratitude. It's got to feel natural to me. I can't force gratitude. It feels fake. That's why I can't do affirmations. I never could. They felt fake to me. I couldn't force a visualization scene. It felt fake to me. It didn't feel real to me. So when you do my practices, these things just start happening. They just start happening. So for me, appreciation, I'm getting it now. I'm getting what it means to be in a state of appreciation. Just now, when you're in that warm blanket and I know it sounds really silly, but you're having your cup of tea and you're basking, like Abraham says, in that moment. That's appreciation. That's you feeling 100% worthy in that moment. When you are in the bathtub and you're so relaxed and you're like, this is what life's all about. That's you being 100% worthy. That is the most powerful state you can be in. When I take the first sip of my refresher, I am in a state of appreciation. I feel 1,000,000% worthy in that moment. I'm telling you, when I'm eating a delicious meal and it's so good, when me and my friends are laughing and singing and we're just having so much fun and we're at that's like the highest vibration you can be in. That's a state of appreciation. That's what Abraham's talking about. Now, I knew all this. I listened to her over and over again, but until you start doing these practices and applying them, it's going to happen at the right time for you where you really start feeling it, right? It's not like writing a gratitude journal. I feel bad because it's okay. You are where you are. I've done all those things. But you just know that you're not really aligned with a lot of those things yet. This is the way to do it. By relaxing, it happens at the right time. You're ready for it at that time. It's no force. There's no effort. It's effortless. Everything's effortless when you do it this way. Like Abraham always said, it's going about it backwards. Most people are doing it the harder way. They're doing things to get things. They're affirming. They're reprogramming. They're persisting. They're doing these self-concept things. I am worthy. I am this. I got to get to the core of my belief. You don't got to figure anything out. You are so freaking worthy. You do not have to figure anything out. Your universal forces will take care of everything if you're doing your part, which is relaxing, which is resting, which is just chilling out more, scrolling through your phone. And that's another one. We all can do that. Let's be serious. We can all sit and scroll through our phones. Make sure it's positive. Make sure you're not researching. Don't research. Stop researching. You don't need the research. You don't need to learn about the subconscious brain. This part of the brain does this, that. I mean, I went through all that, but you don't need any of that. It's all, you don't need to educate yourself on any of this. It's way deeper. I say it's way deeper than that, but it's not even deep. So it's like very contradicting. It's way easier than that. It's like you're just living your everyday life and you're relaxing as much as you can. And that's what's that's what's bringing things into your awareness. All these manifestations and things that you probably don't even know you manifested. Like, I didn't manifest to do TikToks. I didn't manifest to do what I do today. That just started unfolding, right? That's just started coming into my reality. But now I know I pre-planned that. I know I did. I can feel it now, right? But I wasn't asking for it. I wasn't saying, I want to do this, I want to do that. I really didn't know what I wanted. I was that type of person my whole life. I was always like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. That's why I tell people when they say, do I have to have a clear intention? No. You just got to start feeling good. You just got to start feeling good. And you just got to know now you're unlimited. That's all. You don't have to have a clear intention. Guys, I always said, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. No, literally, I don't want to grow up. Like, I just want to have fun. And you start to see that. You start to realize that. It's not about that. That's all your programming, again, kicking in. That's our programming. I got to have a clear intention. I got to know what I want to be. Well, if you do, that's okay, too. There's nothing wrong with that either. But I'm saying don't feel that pressure of, I need to know. I need to have a clear intention. That will happen. That will happen very naturally. If I have to choose between relaxing or doing something and trying to make the best of something. So to me, that your question in itself is just so, like, you're making it too much already. Just by asking all that, like, what should I do? What should I do this? What should I do that? I would, myself personally, if I felt like I had too much going on in my mind, I do nothing. Because you'll be led to something very naturally. So if I'm your question was like, I didn't really get to read it fully, but it's a lot. It's a lot going on in that question. So you're not even in that allowing energy. So always go to relaxing because it'll lead you to the next best thing. Always take a moment just to sit in silence and it'll lead you to that next best thing. Just know this too, guys. You can't make a mistake. There's nothing that is better to do or best to do. It's just making the best of it. Just know that there's nothing I need to do. There's nothing I have to do. What do I want to do? So ask yourself those 3 things. Don't you dare grow up. Right? Do you want to grow up, guys? Seriously. Be like, we already did that. I did that already. I did that part of my life where I was like, I felt like I was everybody's mom. I don't want to be that anymore. I had my programming. I mean, I don't regret anything in my life. I literally don't. I don't regret. I just thought about that the other day because of how my life unfolded, right? Like, I was always like taking care of like my brothers and like I was one of those people, but I don't regret that because like everything unfolded the way it was supposed to. I want to manifest a loving relationship with the man I love at last. Exactly, Sybil. Exactly. And that intention is enough, Sybil. You'll listen, Sybil. Just that intention is enough. You're going to start to become aware of it. The more you feel good on your own, the more you fill up your own cup, the more your own source of happiness, the more you relax, the more you do these practices, Sybil. And it's just that simple, Sybil. You don't got to create a story or say, like, be specific. Don't be specific. Don't be specific, guys. You're I never was specific. I'm telling you, I was opened up to so many things when I'm not specific. You're going to start seeing what's truly out there for you, Sybil, and what you start to resonate with. That's why I think scrolling through TikTok is great. Because TikTok is, right now, that's everything. That is our vision board right now. And the more that you feel better, the more that you're relaxed and scrolling through TikTok, you're going to start bringing things into your awareness that you're like, ooh, that would be nice. Ooh, like, oh, I love that life, or that looks fun, or that resonates with me, or nah, that's not me. I don't resonate with that at all. Right. And then that's you moving through life. Like that's how it works. Exactly, BB. They're making you magnetic. They're making you magnetic for what is, really best for you. Like I always say, what is best for you, but no, like what you planned before you got here to live an amazing life. It's so limiting, Catalyst. I know. Unless, like, specifics will come in time. To me, specifics come as your life is unfolding. But as you're doing. It's not even, specifics come as you're living your life. Right? Like, I'm going to go get my strawberry refresher. That's specific. Okay, now I'm going to go get it. And that's it. That's when specifics come into play. But when you're being too specific, feel the resistance in that. I can't do it anymore. You just start to line up with things where you, like I said, like you start doing my practices, you start relaxing, guys. And I know most of you guys know this already. You start relaxing. Like it sounds so funny, but you're doing nothing. You're literally doing nothing. You're relaxing. You're scrolling through TikTok. You're resting as much as you can. Even if your life is busy, you're finding time to relax as much as you can, right? And, doing the appreciation practices, which, like I said, like, it's so funny because I can't force myself to do that either. It's like you just know in the moment, like, oh my gosh, this feels so nice. This feels so relaxing. When I'm in the sunshine or, those moments come and you'll be in that moment and then you'll be like, yes, this is what life's all about. That's when you're in a state of appreciation. But the more you do these practices, like I said, it just starts, that's the allowing mode. That's the receiving mode. Things just start coming to you. You literally are a magnet. And not just things. It's not even about things. It's really, to me, it's the knowledge. It's the, I don't want to say like the wisdom, but it's the knowing of how this reality truly works, right? It's the understanding of that. That to me it's knowing how in control you truly are. How nobody can hurt me. It's like, almost like there's a glass wall between you and it's like, oh, I get to choose who gets to come in, right? Like now, like nothing will, and again, you start, like what I'm starting to become aware of, how, like, stop arguing, right? Stop fighting for your limitations. Abraham used to say that all the time. Like, again, I didn't understand it till most recently. Stop fighting. Stop fighting for your limitations. You have nothing to prove. You don't need to make anyone understand. You're just moving towards what's best for you. You find yourself fighting even when something's not happening with your circumstances, even when it's not in front of you. It's like you're bringing it back up in your mind and you're like, wait a minute, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to do that. I have nothing to prove anymore. I know my value. I know my worth. I know who I am. I know why I'm here. And you let that stuff go and you keep moving forward with it, right? And that's it. It's that simple. Right, Catalyst, right? And I always tell, when people tell me that they're catching those moments, I love that. Like, oh, I caught myself today arguing with like an old story. And I stopped myself and I'm like, I love hearing that because I remember those moments stand out to me. Those moments when I was starting to catch it a lot more. That's why I tell you guys, to do all throughout the day, do the relaxing practices. You're going to see major shifts in your reality by relaxing your jaw, dropping your shoulders, breath out. I talk a lot about that in the most recent audio, like a couple times. That practice is keeping you so aware throughout the day. It's keeping you in flow throughout 24/7. Like I said, I see major shifts. I'm not exaggerating. Because I'm so aware now, so I'm catching the moments when I'm seeing major shifts. States of appreciation, major shifts. Catching those moments where reminding myself to drop it's like so weird, but I'm not kidding. Like your jaw, resting your face, dropping your shoulder. I do the quick breath out, right? Those types of things. Linda, happy birthday. I hope you had a great birthday, Linda. I know. Of course, I wasn't on live yesterday and it was Linda's birthday. And I seen your thing on Facebook too, Linda. Hi, Aaron. What if we don't feel worthy? You're gonna, Carrie. You're gonna. That's the thing. That's these practices are doing, Carrie. You will start to feel worthy just by relaxing. Literally, I know, right? It sounds so silly. Like, you're telling me just to relax and yes. You don't got to do these affirmations and they're just words and you're not even believing them and it's Just don't do that. It's just another cycle. I mean, do whatever you want. I don't like telling people what to do, but you learn quick by doing these practices, and you don't got to say anything. You don't got to do anything. Carrie, you will. The more you relax, Carrie, the more you do those little practices of appreciation, the more you're relaxing throughout the day, Carrie, you are going to start to feel worthy. Trust me. Carrie, your life's going to start to change and get better. Guys, this is a practice that takes practice. I always say that. It didn't, even as my life was getting better, even as I was releasing old stories, I was still reactive. I was still reacting to unfavorable. It takes practice, guys, but you're always moving forward. I can tell you right now, you cannot make a mistake. You cannot make a mistake when you do it this way. Well, I say when you do it this way because this is the only way that's ever worked for me, right? When you do it this way, you're never going to make a mistake. You're always in control, even when you think you're not. You're always in control when you're doing these practices. I'm telling you, I got myself out of some really sticky situations, guys, like really sticky situations by really getting calm. I think it was Catalyst. Was it you, Catalyst, who told me? Someone mentioned in the Facebook group about how they were up all night. I don't know if it was you, Catalyst. I may be wrong. And they were worried about something and they just kept relaxed. I've done this many times. Relaxing into it. It doesn't feel good. It kept me up a lot of the nights, but I did eventually go to sleep and it worked in my favor because I kept relaxing my body, relaxing into it, literally relaxing into relaxing with this circumstance, right? And it worked in my favor. And even she said, I don't know if it was you, the next day, she says, I watched it work in my favor. And I have too. That's how powerful we are. That's how powerful relaxing is. By resting into that, by you being in flow, it will always go your way. It has to go your way. Never try to figure it out. Never try to tell a new story. That's limiting. That's very limiting. There's a lot of resistance in that. That's why I don't like affirmations. There's so much resistance in affirmations. And they're limiting you. They are literally limiting you. Affirmations. Don't try to figure it out. Take that step back. Let universal forces take care of it in the best way possible. Allow them to do it for you because you're going to start to trust more when you allow them. I don't allow them, your higher self. I like whatever you want to call it. I know. A lot of people think it's you giving your power away. Come on now. No. You're limited in this moment. In this moment, I am limited. You are limited. Take a step back. It's about taking a step back and allowing things to unfold the best way possible for you. That's all that is. We could never think of the right way. Don't try to tell the story. That's another thing I see a lot out there with manifestation teachers is, no offense to them or anything, but they're telling you to make up the new story and stick to the new story. Don't. That's limiting. That there is no, you are so limited with a new story. You got to take a step back. You got to trust in the unknown. You got to let it unfold in the best way possible for you. Don't rush anything. And that's another thing about affirmations and doing things to get something. You're rushing something. You're chasing something. You're in that cycle again. You're in that program again. Get out of that program. Get out of it. Take a step back and relax. Literally, let your higher self and everybody else's higher selves do their jobs. Right? There's universal forces at play here. We got to take a step back and do our part. We got to do our part. Our part is learning to feel worthy. That's our part. We got to take a step back. We got to relax more. Well, yes, I will post. I'm getting good, guys. I've been posting my lives every day. Obviously, I didn't have one to post today, but I've been sitting down. I hate to say the word routine because I don't want a routine to control my life, but I like to have a little bit of a routine. I'm aware of it though, but I like the idea of that I get up and I sit down and I post my live on YouTube and then I do a little bit of editing. So it keeps me in a nice rhythm, right? It's all stuff that I like to do. But like I said, I never want a routine to control my life. I don't want anything to control my life. I don't want it to get back to that conditional way of living again, right? Like I said, I was always one to be like that. But then you get worn out. So I was always a scheduled person, but it wears you out and it's no fun anymore. It's no fun when you have to do something. And I love what I do right now. I don't ever want this to be something that I don't love anymore. So that's why, like, if I take a day off or a day or two off, it's only because I'm in my mind too much and I'm probably making it too conditional again. So like, I'll always take that step back so I can do this for the rest of my life, right? I was some that I could reach for pages of a book I never even seen. Oh, Linda, I love that. So beautiful, Aaron. I love that. So true too, Aaron. So true. It's not chasing to decide what you want and allow it to happen. That's choosing the new story. Exactly, Aisha. Oh no, it. Wait, isn't it? Is it Asia? Now that I just said that, it could be Aisha too. But you're right. Yes, you get to choose, right? It's never saying you don't get to choose. It's never saying that. It's just not being specific around what you're choosing. Because when you start to get to specific, that's where it becomes limiting. And there's a lot of resistance in it, right? Is it Aisha? Is it Asia or Aisha? Girl, was I saying your name wrong the whole time? Aisha? I was saying Asia. Wasn't I? I think I was. Girl, so many people have bashed my name and I never care, but I don't want to bash other people's. So what you're saying here is, hi Ava. How are you, Ava? So no. You can be here. The reason why you're okay, I like people think when you're saying not to be specific, you're saying you cannot choose what you want. You can choose whatever you want, but take a step back on how it unfolds, right? Take a step back. Okay. Aisha. Yeah, Aisha. I think I was saying Asia. Maybe I wasn't. I don't know. Take a day off and you forget everything. Yes, Bobby. It's when we try to get too specific around that manifestation. And that's only because the way people are explaining this and teaching it out there, right? Tell a new story, tell it like this. No. Take a step back. I only say this for your highest good, guys, because I'm telling you, I've done it. You take a step back and you see what's available to you. You can be specific on what you want, of course, but take that step back and let the universe show you. Let creation show you how unlimited you truly are, because I can guarantee you, you're limiting yourself. You're limiting yourself. We are, because in this moment we're limited. We all are. Do you think you need to know what you want? Sam, so I always say, no, you don't. You don't, because I didn't. I never did. Certain things I kind of did. I was I had an awareness and certain things. I was like, oh, I would like this. I would like that. You can though. There's no wrong or right. You can know what you want. You can know what you want, but still, even in that, take a step back and let it unfold. That's all. Do we change your self-concept? You're not doing anything to change your self-concept, but my practices. You're going to feel worthy when you start to see your life unfold, when you start to see your life change for the best, when everything's see, you are, the self-concept thing is, it's all about you anyway. This experience is all about you having your own experience with your belief system. Of course, your self-concept is going to change when you do these practices. When you understand this is only you having your own experience. At your core, you are 100% worthy, right? But we've been programmed. You're deprogramming. You will know your value. You will know your worth by doing my practices. You don't have to do anything. You're not doing self-concept practices though, right? You're just relaxing and you're feeling good on your own and you're being your own source of happiness. You're not trying to change anything outside of you. You're just being your own source of happiness, guys. That's all you're doing. All right, guys, 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, exactly, Bobby. Yes, we want to experience whatever we want, right? You get to be doing of anything you want. So just understand, like I always say, you planned it before you got here. All right, 1 second. I just got a call, so I just want to check it. So I'm going to put you guys on pause for 1 second, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, sorry guys. It was a phone call from one of my kids. Yes, Carrie. Yes, yes, yes. You're not going to feel it at first, Carrie. But you're not efforting, Carrie. You're not trying to feel good, right? There's effort in that. There's effort in that. You're doing the opposite. You're relaxing more. You're resting more, Carrie. You're doing things that, like I said, like getting baths, scrolling through TikTok, Carrie, like just chilling, sitting in a blanket as much as you can. As much as you can. Like I know like where I was at one point in my life, like working, long hours, and like I had the kids and I was still in such a programmed mindset, but I still made time to relax. I meditated. Like I don't even really meditate now because I can connect so easily. But, and I used, like I said, I first started out doing breath work and meditation. I don't do neither of those today. I don't do those today. So as time goes by, Carrie, yes, you do. Your life does start to get better and you start to see it for yourself. You got to see it for yourself though, guys, right? You got to see it for yourself. This lotion is like does not come out. Hi, Kayla. It so is, Wooder. I mean, it's a game changer. When you start to relax more and practice relaxing, you're able to just like have a night where, you know what, like I just didn't do anything. I kind of just chilled. I made like you appreciate the little things, right? Like even for me, like I'll just sit. I'll be in my house and I'll just like be like it'll be nighttime and I'll hear like the nighttime sounds. And I'm not doing anything. But it's like I can be in that moment and be okay in that moment. I'm not like, oh, I need to do something else, right? It's so true. You really want to practice relaxing. It sounds so silly when you say it though. Like you really want to practice relaxing. Like none of us know how to relax, right? Like I'm not saying like people think like that means you can't do anything, but I am so productive. Like I said, you start lining up with things that you love to do. I really enjoy cooking. I never thought I would say that. I used to be like, oh God, I gotta cook, right? Because like when I worked and I would come home and I'd have to go to the food store and it was like by the time I was done everything, it was like 8 o'clock at night. I would have work, I'd have to go get the food, I have to come home and cook, then I'd have to clean it. Who really enjoys cooking? Like I couldn't enjoy it. Now, oh my gosh, I so love it. I can't wait. I'm like, oh, what are we gonna make today, guys? Like, what should we cook today? Like, let's do something fun. Like last night I was making cinnamon buns. I didn't make them from scratch, but that's something I want to do. So my daughter loves cinnamon buns. Actually, all my kids like cinnamon buns. But we buy the canned ones. This is why. We tried making them before. My daughter does not like the icing. No matter how we try to make it, we can't get it the way she likes it. She wants it to taste like the ones in the container. And we can't get a recipe. We've tried every recipe too. So that's what I'm trying to work at. Not anymore, Diamond. No, I don't. I don't work anymore. Oh my God. I had a long string on my pants and I'm like, is that from me something I was sewing today? I'm becoming very domestic these days. Like cooking and cleaning and sewing. Sometimes I laugh because like I never had time for that stuff before. You know what? So funny, Bobby. I never used to like them. Do you know what's so funny? I never used to like cinnamon stuff, really. I wasn't a cinnamon person. Like, although I used to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch as a kid, but I would eat it dry. I never liked milk. But I was never like a big cinnamon person, but now I'm really starting to like cinnamon stuff. And now I love cinnamon buns. But I like icing. I like icing. They don't give you enough. The ones that you buy in the thing, it's like you get like one little layer. Cinnamon muffins. So I'm not a big bread person. I'm not a big bread person. That's why I don't like too much. Like I love those mini cupcakes because it's like barely any cake, but lots of icing. I'm more of an icing type person. So muffins for me, it would probably be too bready, too bready. Icing. Am I saying it wrong? I always say things wrong. I'm getting a lot of... My SP is still saying she's done. So when people say that to me, I know they're manifesting. They're manifesting. So I always say, Kay, you gotta... You really want to get away from doing things to manifest. You need to feel you need to be at a place where you're happy on your own, okay? You got to be at a place where you're fulfilled on your own. You're too focused on a manifestation. You got to feel good, and you got to do these practices. You got to be at peace with where you're at. You got to get into that allowing energy. That's what it is all about. That's what this is all about. That's what these practices are. You are 100% in a receiving, allowing. You're not asking really questions outside of you anymore. I'm lying. You are asking, but you're getting the answer on your own right away. You're not needing anything outside of you or to ask anybody or a coach or anything like that. It's like you get an instant answer. That's what flow is. That's what being in the receiving mode is, allowing mode, solution mode. It's where like you can ask something and you automatically get the answer because you're connected. That you want to shift the energy and get in that on the side of the I want to say spectrum, but that sounds, I don't know if that's right. You want to get on the other side of it. Most people right now are still in the asking, trying to figure it out. They're doing more research. How does this work? And they're still in that energy. So you want to make the shift, and you do that by relaxing. What limiting beliefs are you currently... I don't really have limiting beliefs like that anymore. It's more of like, so here's the thing. You're always going to be limited because we're unlimited. Okay. So you just get better at this. You're more in the receiving mood. So just know, like, you're always growing and expanding, right? But I got rid of all of my fear-based belief systems. So I got rid of all my programming, right? Does that make sense? But you're always limited in this movement because you're always expanding in this movement. You're unlimited. The sky's the limit of what you could experience, know, and do. You're learning as you go even. You're learning new things. You're sending new things to source and to this creation, and you're making new creations, right? So you're always limited in this movement. It's more so about releasing I don't have any fear-based belief systems for the most part. Not saying something doesn't creep up from time to time, but for the most part, I have overcome my fear-based belief systems, right? That's non-reaction. That's practicing non-reaction. That's relaxing practices, calming practice. That's what that will do. Deprogramming your mind. Does that make sense on that question? I'm not perfect. I still have my moments from time to time, but then it becomes all about... Exactly, Kennedy, exactly. This is how I look at it, guys. You're creating a new world. You're creating a new world with your energy, and doing these practices. You planned this before you got here, right? And you're giving other people an opportunity to say, oh, I could have that life too, right? Oh, that looks fun. Like, I would like to experience that, right? And you're moving out of these fear-based things into more positive, right? More loving, more unconditional, and showing people, and unlimited, and showing people that they could do that as well. And it's easy to do this, right? We're showing people easier ways. That's what this is about. It's creating new worlds, better worlds. Yes, and that's the thing, Bobby. And guys, when people tell me they gotta do things to their work on their self-concept and you're not doing anything. You're perfect just the way you are. You're just deprogramming from all those programs that you picked up. That's all. So you don't have to do anything. As of late, I've been relaxed and my focus is on me, but I really want to wake up excited. Oh, Kennedy, you will, girl. You will, girl. You know what? You're doing so good. And I know that place, Kennedy. And I love you guys are so honest. And I think even for myself, wanting to share this and always be so positive with you guys. You know, even me not always sharing 100% because I just wanted to be positive and show you guys that this is possible. But Kennedy, I used to feel that way, but I don't anymore. I used to get up feeling like, okay, I've done these practices. My life has changed a lot, but why am I not waking up happy? Why? I used to be so happy when I woke up, right? But now I am now. I'm like excited. So let things start to come in for you. Kennedy, things are going to start to come in where you are excited to get out of bed. But guess what? You know what I've learned through experience? Take your time. You don't have to jump out of bed. I was a jump out of bed person. I used to be like, all right, let's go get this day, right? No, don't. Take that time, right? From waking up, right? Like I always say, you have no resistance when you're sleeping. So you're waking up back to like this dream again or this reality again. It's like, woo, okay. So take your time, get up, take your time, move slow, right? Don't rush for anything. Remind yourself, what did I used to say, Ken? I used to say this. I used to say, you know what? Me not feeling good in the morning, that's a lie. Even that, I know it sounds weird, but I don't got to figure it out. It's a lie. Me waking up and saying like, oh, I don't feel good. That's another limiting belief. And that's when I started to overcome that. When I would wake up feeling like, why don't I feel like $1,000,000? Like my life's getting better. I'm doing these practices. And the more that I just took my time in the morning and I got ready and took my time getting ready, right? Like, all right, let me get what I'm going to wear. Like kind of a little bit of a routine, Kennedy. Like I kind of had a little bit of a routine. That's what started to change my mornings and put them more, started to shift to where I started to be happy waking up, right? So you will. I promise you will. Just take your time. Keep getting centered again and keep reminding yourself, like even that is a limiting belief again, creeping up. Like, oh, why don't I feel good? Like I'm telling myself that sort of like, why don't I feel good? No, just take your time. Like I don't got to do anything. There's nothing I need to do. I love this. There's nothing I need to do. There's nothing I have to do. What do I want to do? You know what? I want to lay in bed. And I want to scroll through TikTok for a little bit. And then I'll get motivated when I get motivated to get up. Like, just always remind yourself, there's nothing you have to do. There's nothing you need to do. Like, I'll feel inspired when I feel inspired. I was like that annoying person in the morning. I was always like, hey, good morning, everybody. You know, and I am now because I'm back to that again. Because I take my time in the morning. I just move slower. And I remember I'm telling you, you overcome it. Because I can just remember. Like, I would wake up in the morning and I would still be a little, like, off, right? And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I hope my kids don't wake up yet because I'm not there yet. Now I am. And now I'm like, it doesn't matter who comes. You're so non-reactive. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready in the morning. Like, I feel good. But at first I didn't. Like, I had to surpass that. Like I had to get, I don't know, like kind of like out of that. I know what you're talking about. Are you, BB? Yeah, I was always that person. I was always like, yay, ready to start the day. But I had to like, of course, my whole life got flipped upside down. Literally, guys. I'm not kidding. So I had some stuff I had to go through. Like I had to go through some stuff. And to be able to explain this to you, I feel like in order for me to be able to teach this to others, and what am I teaching? To relax, explain it, I guess you could say. I had to go through that, right? I had to. I feel like it was all part of my plan. I don't regret anything. I don't regret anything that happened to me to this day because I know it was a part of my plan. I'm feeling like a heavy feeling. Yes, Dee Dee. Don't try to figure anything out, Dee Dee. It's a limiting belief. Right, Dee Dee? And we know that now. So we know we just got to relax and just move through our day. And it'll pass. Just allow it to pass. That's all, Dee Dee. It's just limiting belief. Don't try to figure it out. You don't need to know where it came from. You don't need to figure anything out. You just need to relax and it'll pass. And then you'll feel better. And you'll be like, wow. Sometimes you even get like some knowledge from that once that passes. Hi, Mike. Right, Catalyst? Me too. Me too. Like knowing that nobody's judging me in this moment. Whether I cry, whether I laugh, whether I sit here and do nothing, whether I decide to cook, whether I don't decide to cook. Nobody's judging me. Literally. And the more I relaxed in that, and the more that I took a step back in that and did my practices, non-reaction, it always worked out in my favor. It always went my way. Like, I know this sounds weird, but like I would be like, I don't really want to cook today, but I knew not to react to that. So I would take a step back, and my kids would, like, my boys would be like, oh, we're not going to be home today. They'd be at their girlfriends, and it would just be me and my daughter, and we'd take a ride and like go to Wendy's and get something, like, and it was like, wow, how great did that work out? Because I didn't react to it. I didn't get upset that I don't want to cook. I'm like, I don't want to cook today. I'm tired of cooking every day, right? That would be me reacting, and that would be me huffing and puffing, going to the food store and like complaining, and then I would be experiencing that in my reality over and over again. But I learned not to do that. Take a step back, chill out, right? And it would work in my favor, where both my boys would not be home. I mean, I love my kids, I'm not saying that, but they'd be at their girlfriends, happy as ever, and it would just be me and my daughter, and be like, oh wow, we could do whatever we want. What do you want to eat today, right? Kira, when a story pops up, how do we go about it? So Raquel, when a story pops up, when an unfavorable story pops up, whether it's in front of you or just in your mind, you're literally only staying calm and quiet. You're just resting your shoulders, Raquel. Relax your face in that. Sometimes, Raquel, the story, depending on how dominant it is, it may cause you to be a little unsettled and shaky, depending on how dominant it is or how much it has that momentum. You just relax into it, no matter how bad it feels. No matter how bad it feels, you're just relaxing, you're staying quiet and calm. That's how you release it. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not kind of hanging out. Sometimes they do, but you're not saying anything. You're just quieting, you're relaxing, you're getting into your body. I don't got to figure anything out. I'm moving towards best case scenario. It's all about getting into your body, Raquel, and softening your body. The story, like I say, the story doesn't matter. It's just a limiting belief. Let it hang out there if it wants to. But if you're softening your body and you're relaxing into it, even though it's not comfortable, it has to fade. It has to go your way. It has to leave. It has to leave your life. It has to. And you're going to start to see this, Raquel and guys. Some of these stories that are very dominant in our realities, they will still show up. But you're going to realize how much less reactive you are to them. To where it's like, you literally, it can't touch you. It's like, I always say, it's like there, but it's like, it can't get me. It's like listening to Charlie Brown's Teacher. It's like, well, I didn't even hear it. It was a different language. That's how much it doesn't affect you anymore. So like I said, they may still show up a little bit, and you're maybe a little still reactive to it, maybe a little, till eventually it's like, I didn't hear that. It's almost like it's like, let's say someone's being mean to you or treating you bad. And you keep just getting calm, and you're not letting, and at first you're letting it bother you, it's upsetting you, but you know you're doing these practices over and over again. Till finally, they do it, and it's like, you didn't understand it. Remember? And then you're like, you know what? I don't care anymore. This doesn't even bother me. And then they can't touch you anymore. You're untouchable. You're untouchable. So they go somewhere else. They either learn from that or they go somewhere else. Right? We all have a choice, but that's not your job. Don't worry about what other people choose. You just keep doing these practices. That's what's moving you forward, okay? Right, Kennedy? I know. I'm trying to find new funny things of funny sounds, because that's what I've noticed in my life. It's almost like, you don't fight with it anymore, guys. You have no energy to fight with these circumstances anymore. You've raised your energy up. You're past that. I hate to say you're above that, because that sounds like we're being judgmental to that, but you are. It's the truth. It doesn't get to you anymore. It doesn't affect you anymore. You're like, that's gone. That's a thing of the past. Do you have advice for acne? I've been struggling with it and my self-esteem. Now, so first, stop saying you have acne. So when anybody tells me like, oh, about my skin, my hair, right off the bat, I say, start saying my skin's getting better. Right off the bat, you can say that. You can say that. My skin is getting better, because it is. Because you're setting that intention automatically. But by saying I have acne, by saying it's giving me low self-esteem, it's like that story's so active in your life. You don't got to say you're cured. There's too much resistance in that. But you say things like, oh my gosh, it's getting better. I know it's getting better. But anytime that comes up in your mind where you're like, oh my gosh, my skin, or you have to relax. You have to get calm. You almost have to distract yourself from it, right? So get calm and relax. Or it's getting better. I can see it's getting better. Eventually it's out of your awareness and it does get better. That's what I said about me. Like, people always say about your skin and this and that. I don't get pimples anymore. I literally don't get pimples. I don't pay attention to my skin though. I don't pay attention to it. I just stopped getting them. Right? So you're slowly taking your awareness from it, and you're moving towards best and better just by doing these practices, just by relaxing. Just by relaxing and releasing resistance and doing these practices, everything's getting better, including your skin, including your body, your mental health, right? All these things. Exactly. You are making peace with it, with what Christine said. You make peace with it. You gotta I don't want to say love. You gotta be okay with where you're at, knowing you're moving towards better and best, right? You gotta be okay with the no money. You gotta make the best of that $100 in your bank account, or $20. You gotta go to the dollar store and buy yourself something. You got to or not buy anything. Make the best of what you got in your home and not buy anything for a while. You gotta do that. Or else you're going to create more resistance. Oh, I'm just going to go get a credit card and spend money. No, you're creating more resistance. Be okay with where you're at, because you know what you know now. You just apply these practices. Don't worry about how long it takes to get to where you need to be. You're moving forward in this moment, right? Just continue relaxing, continue releasing these programs. Yeah, Kennedy. I love that. I do that too, Kennedy. So TikTok's great. I'm telling you right now, everybody needs a TikTok. It's got the best skin filters. I think it improved my skin, and it just by looking at it. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying that. It also changes your eye color. So like, some days my eyes look green. Sometimes my eyes look brown. I'm always like, I could never manifest blue eyes, because there's too much resistance in that for me. But even sometimes I'm like, oh, I see some blue in my eyes, right? So yeah, you tell yourself that, right? Like, I tell myself my hair's so long. Oh my God, look how long it got. Oh my God, it's so long, right? You say, so for me, that's easy. And that's fun. Like, I can play around with those things. I can play around with saying my hair's long, or my eyes are blue. Look how blue they look today. Look how green. I don't care. It's enough for me to say, like, I don't have to have blue eyes. It's not the end all be all, right? So when people say, can I manifest this? Can I manifest that? It's all on what the resistance you have around certain things. I'm telling you, everybody needs a TikTok. It really does. Like I always say, like, and when I look in the mirror, I see the same person. But I know that the filters that are on this. But yet when I look in the mirror, I'm like, I still feel like my skin still looks good and great, right? Until you put on, don't ever use your iPhone camera. I'm telling you, that is a scary camera. I'm always like, who is that girl? Like, literally, who is that girl? That is a stranger. I made a Pinterest board for fun and made it my... Yeah, like that Kennedy, like that stuff's fun, right? You know, like one day I'm like, oh, I want to be like a stick skinny. And then the next day I'm like, oh, I want curves. I want to have all the curves. Like, I change my mind every day. Like, when you look at other people, right? That's how you get your inspiration. Like, I'll look at someone and I'm like, oh, she's like so teeny tiny. And I'm like, oh, I want to be like I've been all those things, right? But then I'm like, nah, I like the curves. I want to be more curvy. Like, every day I change my mind too all the time. You can be whatever you want. You can literally be whatever you want. What camera am I? Well, it's just my phone. It's Adam. It's my phone, but it's not that. It's just that TikTok has has filters on it. Like always, 100 always has a filter. I've never used TikTok without a filter, so it's always giving you like your skin's always looking more flawless than it act. Like, well, I would say like my skin's a little shiny right now, but you can't tell. Like I'm looking at it now. Like you can't see the imperfections. Put it that way. I've noticed changes in your eye color from. See? Thanks, Kennedy. And Kennedy, if you look back at my old stuff, like I feel like my facial structure has changed. But you do, because you become more confident, you feel better. Like you do, like girl, guys, you can transform into anything. You literally can. You start saying you like something from someone, watch your face transform. You're literally it's gonna happen, and it's freaky, but it does. It happens. I'm not kidding. Aw, thanks, Kennedy. Hi, Kira. Can you give me some motivation to keep persisting? Don't persist. That's my motivation for you, is to not persist. I would never tell anyone to persist. I would never, ever, ever tell anyone to persist in anything except relaxing. That's all you're doing. You're not persisting in a manifestation, especially if you have anxiety. That's creating more anxiety. That's a cycle. That's a trap. That's a trap. You want to know what you have to understand and know that what you want, it's done already. It's done. Creation's finished. You don't have to do anything to get it. You don't have to persist to get it. You just have to relax more and release the unfavorable stories around it. That's all you're doing. You have to feel good on your own. You have to practice filling up your own cup and feeling good on your own. That's what's going to bring it in the best way possible for you. You can't worry about how long or the time frame these things take. You'll realize when things start manifesting that time never mattered. I'm not kidding. Let go of time. I used to too. I used to be like, oh my God, I'm getting old or this or that. Like literally time doesn't even matter. It just disappears. It literally, when you start experiencing things you want and lining up with things that are like a part of your plan, time is not even a thing. Time is not a thing. So take the worrying about how long things are going to take or when is it going to get rid of that. You got to get more into this moment and feeling good in this moment and relaxing. I can't tell you guys, Abraham is so right. You need to relax as much as you can. I almost want to curse. You got to relax as much as you can, guys. You're only relaxing. When you're not doing anything to manifest. Don't sit, relax, and look at more and research how to manifest. Get away from that. You don't got to do anything to manifest. You don't got to know any of this. You don't got to know how the subconscious mind works. There isn't even that. It's all made up anyway. It's all made up. This is all made up. This is all an illusion, a dream. Things are just opinions and things people placed meaning on things over time. This is literally just a fun experience you're having. You got to take that. You got to take all these meanings away, labels away from things. You gotta relax more. You'll start to see that too, that this is all just an experience. People are making this way too serious. They're still researching this. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to explain it. It's like, oh gosh, it gives me a headache even just scrolling. I have to go right past all that. You're supposed to be having more fun. Relaxing will lead you to more fun. You gotta relax. Relax. How can I make my videos more? Like, I'm always trying. Like, I know not many people are at this place. And I know that. But the more we talk about it and the more we tell people how easy this is and explain how easy it is, the more we do the practices, the more we relax, more people will see how easy this really is. It's always going to come down to relaxing. Always, always, always. The more that I relaxed, see, that's the thing. The more you're relaxing, the more you're lining up with fun, with things that you want to do, with things that you like to do. But you got to release the old programming first. You have to release the old programming. It really is. And that's the best part about it, is it does start to become beautiful, right? You do start to see this magical unfolding, right? The more that you relax. Exactly, Rebel. Exactly. You know, like I feel like I gave into relaxing. I gave into it. I was like, that's it. I know that that's the answer to all this is relaxing. And the only reason why people make it complicated is because they still don't understand. So nothing against it, because I didn't at one point either. We've all been there. But it's, if anybody's still trying to explain this to people, or they're still, you got to lead by example. That's where you know somebody's got it, if they're leading by example. But if they're like still trying to explain, you got to do this still, and you got to do that, and you got to, and this is what, like, they're still trying to figure it out themselves. And that's okay. That's okay. But it's a lot easier than we realize. There's nothing to figure out. That's the trap, is that we're still trying to figure it out. You don't got to figure anything out. There's nothing you need to figure out. You're only relaxing. You're only deprogramming your mind, right? That's it. Which will start leading to the fun, which will start leading to alignment. I don't know where my hand gestures come from. Right? You know, like they say, Kennedy, time flies when you're having fun. It literally, because you start to have, you're more in alignment. And you know what's so funny? I'm doing nothing some nights. I'm just sitting in, I'm having my tea. Like, I'm scrolling through TikTok, all my people that I follow, and like 2 hours going by. And I'm like, oh, now I'm going to do my skincare routine, and I'm going to get ready for bed. That was my night. Oh, let me bake some cookies or something. Like, and I'm excited to do it. It's not forced. Where before I think I used to force those things because I was still trying to understand this as well. And I'm like, I was forcing myself when I should have just did nothing. When in doubt, do nothing. When in doubt, just relax. Sit on that couch, sit in your bed, put that blanket over you, and literally just sit there in silence if you need to. Scroll through TikTok, do relax into, that's when you want to relax into relaxing. When in doubt, when you're not sure, relax into relaxing. Sit in the silence. Because I know for me, I definitely probably forced from time to time, like, oh, let me go take a drive. When I didn't even want to do that. Like, I was just forcing, I was trying to feel better, right? There's no effort in this. Yes, Christine. Like, don't force yourself to, the word force. If it ever feels like you're forcing, take a step back. It'll work itself out. You'll be led to the next best thing, and do nothing. Do nothing. Just relax. Close your eyes. Sit in that silence. Listen to a fan noise. I like the idea of just scrolling through TikTok because it's a great distraction. If you're just scrolling through it, just be careful. Like I say, I don't like to say the word be careful because that feels fear-based. Just use your discernment. Use your discernment and like, oh yeah, I see a lot of spiritual people talk about negative energy and be careful of negative energy and, oh, they're jealous of you. And stay away from that, guys. That's all very limiting information. That's not how this works. Nobody can hurt you. You're only having your own personal experience. And I've noticed that in spiritual stuff, like out there, like a lot of spiritual people that say like, oh, negative energy and be careful of the demons and be careful of the like, oh, they're very jealous of you because you're moving forward. That's all limiting. Like, stay away from that. So just use your discernment. If I ever hear the word toxic, if I ever hear the word negative, I scroll. If I ever hear anything of that nature, nope. I want to see silly, laughing, funny, goofy. I love people that make this fun. Even this information. That's why I love Abraham, because she's funny, and so is Bashar. That's why I go right to them. Like, I like people that even have platforms about this kind of stuff that are just making it fun, and they're making it funny, and they're making it light, because it is that, right? People are I want to try to stay away from the too seriousness, like, do not do this, do not do that, right? Make it more fun, make it more light. Because, like I say, this is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be having a fun experience. Yeah, Brett, right? You start to realize that's all very limiting information, right? But we know we're unlimited. We know that we've attracted things into our lives based on our limiting beliefs. And those things are great because they're helping us. So anything that happened in your life previously that didn't feel good, you attracted it to help you move forward. That's all. So anything that's even happening in your life now that doesn't feel good, you attracted it to help. I say the word attract because it's easy to explain, but you attract it because it's helping you move forward to what's best for you. That's all, right? So now we know that. Or like the ones that people are like, they're like, all right, guys, I feel the shift in the world today. Like, does everybody feel that? Does everybody feel the change in the, like, what do you mean? Like, I feel like it's just, like, I know, I feel like I'm making fun, but it's like they take it to a whole nother level. Like, I know we're all having our own experiences, but some of it is just so like, or they play like sad music, or I don't know. It's like some of them are like, no, like I can't watch. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Use this sound. I use the sound, and I got my $1,000,000 right into my bank account. Now, I don't like teasing them, but I can't. Some of them just get to me. Use this sound. So yeah, Brandon, same thing. Don't try to get positive, right? So you've been manifesting since 2020. I don't know if, like, are you doing things to manifest? That's probably why, Brandon. You're probably in that cycle. Most people, like, are, right? When no understanding that, oh, I can manifest. You do things to manifest. But then you realize, like, oh my God, these are like temporary things. It's all about doing the practices, Brandon, of relaxing and releasing limitations, releasing limiting beliefs, feeling good on your own, being your own source of happiness, Brandon, and not trying to be positive. That will be the byproduct of doing the practices. You'll start to feel good on your own. You'll feel good naturally. You'll start to get back to who you truly are, really. Like, it is about being you're able to be yourself. I don't even like to say authentic self, whatever. I don't know why I don't vibe with that word. Just, you're able to be yourself and not care. Like, you're just able to be you, and you're not thinking in your mind, what are people thinking about me? Are they judging me? You get out of all those limitations and those limiting beliefs. Yeah, I think, Sam, that some people I think people even dive too deep in the spiritual aspect of it, and people get too, like, they take it too serious. This isn't serious. Like, oh, are we all having this shift now? Guys, it's all going to get better from here. And like, they're getting all, and I'm like, what is this person talking? And like, they're not, they mean well, and they know how this works, but at the same time, they're making it so like heavy, right? Like, guys, it's all getting better. We're moving to the new earth, everybody. Like, and it's like, I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, what is happening here? And like, like I said, they mean well, but they're taking it way too serious. Like, this, it's not that serious. It's not that deep. It's really not that deep. It's just start having fun. The more you relax, the more you start to become in alignment. It's actually the opposite of that. It's the opposite of that. Yeah, right, Catalyst, right? Because you go down that rabbit hole, you get sucked in. Sometimes it sucks you in. They have the instrumental music playing, and they're like saying like, like, I don't know. I like psychics, some of them on here, media or whatever they are, because readers, because some of them are so good. They're short, they're positive. I love the positive ones, and they're like, you're powerful, blah blah blah, and that's it. And that's all I need. But like some of them are just like instrumental music, and they're like, nobody can mess with you. And I'm just like, I don't know, like some of it throws me off. Some of it throws me off. But you start to just know like what you resonate with, what you don't, and what you're just like, I don't know. You just know. You just know. You do, Adam. It's so true. You just know. You know at your core. I like fun. I like funny. I like light. So I know, and I know by listening to Abraham, this is not serious stuff, guys. Like, this is just a fun experience you're having, and that's what I always remind myself. Anything else is, to me, we're making it too much. You start to make it too much. Right? Me too, Marta. Me too. I use the readers because you can't get away from the readers. They're literally everywhere. But I don't follow any. If they pop up and I resonate, I listen. But if I don't like it, what was someone saying? One of them was great in the beginning, and then it started to trail off. They were like talking about getting into their life, and they started bringing up their limitations through their reading. Right? And I'm like, whoa, okay, keep scrolling. Right? So like you just become more aware of those things. You're not ignoring the 3D. Like people say, do we ignore it? Like, go ahead, ignore it. Can you? That's the same thing. Like you do these practices, and yes, you do. You become unbothered by things that don't serve you anymore. But at first, you got to do the practices in order to become unbothered. You, like people say, be the observer of your thoughts. You ignore the 3D. Well, yeah, but yet that person's reacting left and right. You got to train your body not to be reactive before you can ignore anything. And you're not really ignoring, you're becoming unbothered by things that don't resonate with you anymore. The more that you relax, the more that you practice non-reaction, you just don't resonate with these circumstances, these stories that don't serve you anymore. But to say to ignore the 3D is, yeah, go ahead if you can. If you can ignore right now what doesn't serve you, go for it. But for most people, that's the practice. That's why I help people with these practices, because you can't. You can't at first. It's got a hold of you. It's a dominant story in your reality. You're reactive towards it. And that's why you keep experiencing it. Yes, because it's always changing. But what is it changing to? So everything happening in right now in this moment, it's old. Right now, it's old. It's depending on your reaction to it, though, whether you keep experiencing it. So, but also know there's a delay. There's a little delay in our reality. So but if you keep reacting, you're going to keep experiencing. So yes, it's always changing, but what is it changing to? More of the same? Or are you moving towards best and better in each moment, right? So I'm telling you right now, guys, you can know all that about the 3D, but it all comes down to non-reaction. All comes down to non-reaction. All comes down to practicing relaxing. Always. I don't care what anybody says out there. I've challenged this over and over again. It's all about practicing non-reaction. It's all about relaxing, or else you keep repeating. And it's even easier than that, because you don't got to do anything to manifest. You don't got to do things to get things. You don't got to do things to experience things. You know why? You planned this shiz before you got here. Trust me. Because there's so many things that have manifested into my life that I didn't ask for. They just started happening. They just started coming into and I was like, okay, I can see why it's effortless. I'm not doing anything. It's just happening for me. So just keep doing these practices and you'll see that for yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what about my pets, Sam and guys? Even your pets though, reacting. Like when I used to react to my pets, they would drive me crazy. When I practice it non-reaction, they like, it's almost like they're so quiet. No, they're a totally different animal, and it's all because of me. That's life. Life is all about reaction. All about reaction. Like, even like, not that was your comment or your what you were saying, but like, just I've noticed that in my life when I'm like, oh my God, Steve, all night I even talk about it in the audio, how like when I'm aware of it, he keeps me up all night. But when I don't think about it, when I stop thinking about it, it's like he doesn't even bother me. It's like he stayed in all night. He didn't even go out. But it's when it has my attention and I'm reacting to it that I notice it, that I'm like, oh God, Steve again, Steve again, Steve again, you got to go out again. But when I calm myself down and I don't react to it, it's almost like he doesn't even go out anymore. He's always in. It's all about your reaction. So you can test this out. Test it out in your life now with like little things so you can catch it. So I would say, Kerry, don't do it. Don't do it, because do little things. Start out little. Do some sit-ups, Kerry. That's why I always loved sit-ups, because you're laying down. If you don't have the energy, Kerry, to do any exercises right now, start out doing sit-ups. Like, what do you just lay there, right? Like, that's why I always, and don't do it if you don't want to. Relax instead. Do the opposite. Relax more, rest more, get a bath instead, Kerry. Do the opposite. That's your mind telling you need to do more. Oh, girl, you better get up. You got to be more motivated. You're lazy. You're not doing enough. That's you in your mind. Get back into your body. Relax your body. Be like, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to get a bath instead. I'm going to soak my feet or get a shower instead. It's another program. You'll line up with what's best for you, Kerry, over time. Like for me, my workouts, I talk about them. They're literally 7 minutes. 7 minutes long. Kerry, you're getting it. You know why, Kerry? Because you show up at these lives all the time. And you're always moving forward, Kerry, guys, everybody. Like, I've seen you guys on here for so long. So many people's lives have changed. Some have come and gone, but I'm telling you, I see the ones that come up here, and you guys, these are always moving forward. Trust me. This takes practice, but give yourself way more credit for even popping up on here and showing up and saying, you know what? I'm not giving up. I say giving up because there's even effort behind that, because there's nothing you need to do. You need to do less. You need to relax more. You need to rest more. You're exactly where you're supposed to be in this moment. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You cannot make a mistake. And trust me when I say you are moving forward when you do it this way. You are. You're always moving forward. You cannot make a mistake. Oh my God, you cannot. You are so protected. And you are so guided through this process. And I never knew that until recently, how much you are protected and guided by your universal forces, angels. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. I don't even have a name for it, but you are. And the more you're doing this, and Kerry, I know, like I watch you show up all the time, and you are making progress. I could tell by your comments how they've changed. Like, I can see you guys changing just through your comments and what you say. So give yourself more credit. Stop and say, you know what? Yeah, look how far I've come. We don't do that enough. But that's okay, Sam, because you're aware. There's a difference. Guys. Trust me. There's a difference between someone that comes on here no offense to everybody where they're at. Everybody is where they're at. And I'm not saying there's a difference, but it's a difference, Sam, because you're aware of what you're asking. Like, there's a difference in your questions. When the same person pops up and says, oh, they still haven't answered me, but they blocked me. And it's the same person telling me that this person has blocked them. But they're not doing my practices. They're still manifesting, right? But that's okay, because you are where you are. You have to do something so many times to say this just isn't working. Sometimes you just need that. You need to just keep doing it and doing it. This isn't working. There's got to be an easier way. But I'm saying there's a difference between your questions. So just know, It's not wrong to ask questions. You're aware of it, right? There's a difference. Hey, Claire. Takes time just relaxing. Do you visualize your dreams? No, I don't visualize. See, that's another thing. The more that you don't visualize it, it's weird. You have your own path of least resistance. Visualization will be natural. It'll be natural. So I used to force that too. That's limiting too in itself. But the more you relax, you're not going to be able to force visualization. You're not going to be able to do an affirmation ever again. Never again. I'm telling you. The more you relax, the more you deprogram, it's going to be natural. It's going to be more limitless. And you will daydream. It might even be in your dreams as well. I've had a few of those where it's actually in my dream. But you could tell it's limitless. It's not like when you used to force it. You'll know the difference. So I say no to visualization. If you're doing it as a technique, I say no. If you're doing anything as a technique, I say no. That's just me giving you my advice through my experience. The more you relax, the more you deprogram, your visualizations will come to you. They come to you. Like whether it be in a dream or occasionally, not a lot, occasionally in a dream, or just by you relaxing and all of a sudden it's like, but it's limitless. It's not like what you were doing when you were forcing it. Like, oh, I'm on the beach. I have my beach home. And I don't know. I feel like I'm making fun, but we're like so forcing it and it just it's not natural. It's not, but you can still manifest that way. But again, it's still a cycle because a lot of times we get manifestations that way. But we're like, whoa, wait a minute. Why am I not happy again? Because you really got to do the practice of deprogramming and feeling good on your own. It's all going to lead you to feeling good on your own no matter what. That's what these practices are going to lead you to. It's you being able to be happy no matter what's happening around you. It's becoming unbothered, literally becoming unbothered. And that's what's going to line you up with things that are meant for you. But you're always going to be able to get yourself to a place of unconditional again. Even as your life starts to manifest, things start to manifest, you start to like bring in more things that are meant for you. You're starting to have fun with life, but it's never conditional anymore because you're always able to be your own source of, you're not dependent on things outside of you to feel good. That's called unbothered. I'm in school right now and good. I love that. Yeah. That's a great place. School is a great place to do these practices. Just remaining calm, relaxing your body in those moments, right? Not being so much in here because of course school wants us to be in here, but actually more leading, even in school, leading more so with your body. Yeah, it does, Kerry. And like I always say, when it comes, I had something in my mind and I wanted to share it about about affirmations. And because they carry so much resistance. They carry so much resistance. And it's just causing you more discomfort. It's actually prolonging your manifestation. And it's limiting it as well. So you're going to, even if you do bring it in by doing these things and techniques, you're going to bring it in and you're still going to be unhappy very quickly. Because you're still not doing the only work that needs to be done, which is practicing non-reaction and getting to that non-reactive place. So, all right, I'm going to jump off because I have no voice. I never have a voice when I'm done these. And I have to go pee because I drank my, look at that. It's like water. It was so good at first, but now it's water. Now, but that's it. I'm going to jump off, guys, for the day. I was thinking like, did I have something else to say, but and I'll post this on YouTube tomorrow. This was Sam. I love seeing you guys. I feel like it was like almost everybody that popped up on here today. Everybody have a great rest of the day. You guys are the best. Love you guys. Yeah, I'm just reading some of these. Can you? Okay. Okay, all right, let me jump off. All right, guys, love you guys. How do you relax your busy stress out? Lisa, check out some of my videos in my playlist. Check out my videos. How it started for me, because I talk about this. That's where I started. Work. You gotta practice it. You gotta practice it. You can't blame your circumstances. You can't need things to change outside of you first, guys. Like Lisa, and guys, remember, it's all about you doing the internal work and being at peace within. Lisa, then things outside of you start to change. You get pushed out of those environments. So watch my videos, Lisa, in my playlist, how it started for me, manifest properly, and just scroll through some things. My old lives on YouTube, so you can just like, you'll see. But yeah, it's a practice. It's a practice, Lisa, but it will change your life for the best. So it's worth everything. It's worth it. And you're only relaxing. But at first, Lisa, yes, you are finding time to relax. You are. Like I used to say, I used to wake up in the mornings. I used to wake up like literally 2 hours before I had to go to work just so I could meditate and relax before I had to go in. But it was a game changer in my reality and in my life. Everything shifted very quickly for me. When I came home, I would do my mom stuff and take care of the kids and myself. But I always made sure I got a bath, relaxed. I found that time for myself. You got to squeeze it in at first, Lisa, but trust me, it's worth it. Plus some of the other practices I talk about like throughout your day, moving slower throughout your day, Lisa, at work, taking your time at work. So just check out some of my videos. I know here I am yapping again, but check out some of my videos. But all right, guys, everybody have a great day. Love you guys. Bye.